Are you new in the UK with zero idea over what to do when you arrive in the UK? Well, don't worry no more, because in this video we'll be addressing things to do when you arrive in the UK, either as an international student, a young professional, or anybody who just arrived in the UK. So if this is a topic that interests you, then don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back. We'll trash it. Yeah. Hey stars, welcome back to our channel. If you're new on this channel, my name is Solisa Jotule, and you're welcome to join this amazing community of stars by clicking the subscribe button. So guys, in today's video we'll be talking about things to do when you arrive in the UK as an international student, and some of the things I'm also going to be saying is also applicable to young professionals or any other person in the UK. So let's begin. So the first thing you should do when you arrive in the UK as an international student or even a young professional is to get your BRP. What is BRP? BRP is Biometric Residence Permit. It is a card, it's more like an ID card that they give to you when you arrive in the UK. And that is what you are supposed to carry to identify that you're eligible to stay in the UK, to carry the start and end date of your stay in the UK basically. So if you arrive in the UK, the first thing to do is to get your BRP. And for students, most times when you're filling your visa, your school is going to tell you that you should impute your school as the location where you collect your BRP. So if you have done that, if you put it as a location, then your school basically will send you a message on the particular building in the school environment where you can get your BRP. So if you're a student, go get your BRP from your school. And if you're a young professional, it depends on where also you imputed that you are going to collect your BRP. So anywhere that is applicable, go get your BRP, because that's the evidence of your stay. That's what you're going to be using as an evidence to stay in the United Kingdom. So please, the first thing to do is to ensure that you get your BRP. Let's move on to the second thing to do when you arrive in the UK. The second thing to do when you arrive in the UK is to get your student ID card if you're a student. If you're not a student, this is not applicable to you. Yeah, for most students, your school, before you access some of your school doors, to open the door, either to the library or to some particular lecture hall, you need to use your student ID card. It means that if you don't have student ID card, you may not be able to access some resources like that within the school. Aside doors and libraries that you need student ID card to access, you also need your student ID card to show, yes, to prove that you're an eligible, you are a bona fide student of that particular school, and of course to also show to get some student discounts and all of that. So we want to get your student ID card when you arrive. Your school will also send you location where to get your student ID card. Before coming, they would have asked you to upload your passport so they can use it to prepare your ID card. So most times the ID card would have been prepared before you come pick it up, and if it's not even prepared, it's something that can be done in few minutes that you can pick it up. So the second thing to do as an international student when you arrive in the UK, this is particular for students, go get your ID card to show that you are a bona fide student of that school. The third thing to do when you arrive in the UK is to get a phone number. So before you are able to get a phone number, you need to get a SIM card. So you want to order a SIM card from a network provider, do all the necessary things required, either activate the SIM or recharge the SIM or buy data or anything, but then make sure you have a phone number. So buy a SIM card, get a phone number, because getting a phone number will not help you to do other things like opening bank accounts, which I'm going to be talking about in my next point. So get a SIM card so that you can be able to do some things within the UK, make calls, text, and even use data outside maybe your school environment or your house. Because sometimes you may have Wi-Fi in your house, or you may have Wi-Fi in your school environment or your student accommodation, and once you step out, this Wi-Fi may not be there anymore, and you cannot just be looking for Wi-Fi from one place to another. So you can be able to use Google Map. Yeah, Google Map is very essential here. So get a SIM card so you can subscribe to a mobile data, the one you can use to access map. You may not need it at home or in your school or in your accommodation, but you may need it when you're navigating one place to another. So get a SIM card so you can be able to open a bank account. Also, you can be able to access data to navigate Google Map and every other place. Okay, another thing you should do when you arrive in the UK, that's my number 4 point, is to get a bank account. Yes, bank account is very essential. You need to get a bank account where you can make your payments in pounds and not in the currency of the country where you're coming from. So getting a bank account is very, very essential in the UK for you. So once you get a phone number, you are able to get a bank account. Yeah, you can't get a bank account because without a phone number. So once you get your phone number, once you have your BRP, you are able to get a bank account. So all you just need to do is upload your passport, your BRP, and your phone number that is going to use to confirm that yes, you're in the UK, and maybe some confirmation of address and all. Also, there's a bank letter that your school is supposed to give you. So yeah, with all of that, you are able to open a bank account. So the number 4 thing you should do when you come to the UK is to open a bank account. And I'd already made a video about the most easiest bank account to have is Wise. I made a video about it and showed you guys how to do it. So if you have not watched or seen the video, I'm going to link it up in the card and you can just go back and watch it. Yes, Wise is one of the easiest bank accounts to have in the UK. It is very efficient. Aside the fact that you can get your money in GBP, in pounds, you can also have a dollar account, you can also have international payment from every other currency out there. So yeah, go watch the video overall. Okay, another thing you should do when you arrive in the UK is to get your national insurance number, NIN. A national insurance number is like a work number where they will have a number that the UK government to give you, and it will be what will show, what you present to your employer that you can work. Yeah, you can use it to prove your rights to work. It is very essential because some employer will ask for it. If you plan to get a job in the UK, plan to get your national insurance number, which is NIN number. For you to be able to do that, you need to go to the UK government website, just type national insurance number registration and the link will pop up and you'll be able to register. You follow the due process and they will send it to your address. You get your national insurance number. So if you plan to work in the UK, basically, yeah, which I know you do, please go register for your national insurance number. But before you get the national insurance number, you can also be able to prove your rights to work in the UK through the government website. That's not your number, it's more like a temporary thing that you can use to prove your rights to work. You can send that to employer before you get your national insurance number. So yes, you can also use that while applying for your national insurance number. Ensure you apply and get your national insurance number from the UK government. Okay, the next thing to do is to register with a GP. Registering with a GP means registering with a general practitioner, or maybe registering with a doctor, registering with a hospital. So the way the system works here is that you need to get registered with a particular hospital so that when you're sick, when anything is wrong with you, you can book appointment with the GP and go see the GP. And the way it works is that a particular hospital covers a particular geographical location. So it covers a place that is very close to you, so it's accessible. Like if you're sick, you don't have to travel from here to like 19 miles away because your GP is there. So register with a GP within your geographical location. They will tell you the area they cover. We cover from here to here, we cover from here to here. So look for the GP in your area and register with a GP so that when you're sick, it's not when you are going to go and look for doctor that will treat you, or you are unable to book an appointment. So when you come, ensure you register with a doctor so you are able to book an appointment and go see the doctor or the GP when you arrive. So ensure that they have your database. NHS is keeping communications with you, telling you what to do, telling you the test to conduct if your NHS covers it. Yeah, so please get registered with a GP when you come so that you are able to access medical and health services. Okay, another thing you should do if you plan to drive or know how to drive is to get a driver's license. Getting a driver's license in the UK comes with lots of advantages, because you see jobs and they will say driver's license is very compulsory. It is only eligible for people with driver's license and things like that. You are likely to be seeing them here. So yes, getting a driver's license is very, very, very essential here. So if you plan to drive, please register to get your driver's license. Do the necessary test that you need to do, driving test, and then get your driver's license. Okay, another thing you should do is to register with a local library if you plan to use one. So here there are public libraries that are available for you to access. So for example, you live very, very far from your school and you feel like using the library is something you would want to do, then you should register with a library that is close to your environment if you see one. So register with them and they will give you access to those library if you register with them. So that's something you should do to cut the distance of maybe planning school all the time if your school is far from the place that you're staying. And then another tip for people living in London, they have these Oyster cards that allows you to buy a transport subscription. So if you're in London, you want to get your Oyster card, it's called Oyster, and as a student you should be able to get a student discount for using Oyster. So make sure you register to get your Oyster card in London so that you can have cheap transportation, basically. So you can have cheap transportation. So that is what you should do. So yes, I think that's the last thing on my list today. Do this and welcome to the UK, because if you're watching this video, I know you're coming to the UK or you're already in the UK. So from the desk of Solace, shout out, welcome to the UK, and may everything you touch here be successful. May your academics be successful. Okay, I'm rooting for you and thank you for watching, and I will see you again in our next video. Keep shining. Goodbye.